Greetings, everyone. I'm not going to ask you if you're having a fantastic day. I'm telling you, you're having a fantastic day. You're going to have a fantastic week. And quite frankly, it's only going to get better from there. Why? You already know the reason why. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. Finally, we're getting more content from Owlcat. And more specifically, it seems like we're about to find out what is their next big game. Now, for those who are not aware, the Warhammer Skulls event, which is a yearly event where Games Workshop provides us with information about all the new and grand things that are going to happen with Warhammer over the next year. That event is going to be happening next week. And specifically, the live portion of the event is going to happen on May 22nd, starting at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be live streaming that event. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified once I'm on. Stay locked in because I'm really looking forward to experiencing what Owlcat has in store with all of you. And to be clear, I do not know specifically what they are going to announce at this event. So you might ask, why am I so sure it's going to be a big deal? Well, first and foremost, Owlcat has been pushing it on social media, making sure that everybody is aware they are going to have a presence at Warhammer Skulls. But even more importantly, Owlcat reached out to me directly and said, hey, you really need to be watching this event so that you're aware of what we're going to do. And that's noteworthy because I live streamed the Warhammer Skulls event last year and received nothing from Owlcat. Of course, they did their Void Shadows trailer, but otherwise they had no presence there. And I still, of course, thoroughly enjoyed the event, but it wasn't heavy involved when it comes to Owlcat. Whereas it seems like this year it's going to be very different. Now, what do we know or what can we guess about what kind of content we're going to see? Let's go through it. First and foremost, most likely we're going to get a trailer for Lex Imperialis, which is the new expansion for Rogue Trader. Now, this is going to be in the same vein as Void Shadows, which released, I believe, towards the end of last year. It was a hefty amount of content, giving us a bunch of new quests that ran throughout the game, along with a new party member, weapons and new accessories and items, and of course new archetypes that we can play around with as well. So Lex Imperialis is going to be very similar in that we again are going to get a new party member, and we're going to have content that spreads throughout the game and is going to add a lot of items and accessories that we'll be able to use throughout the game as well. The difference is, instead of just focusing on archetypes, they instead are going to give us a new origin, specifically the Arbites origin. And what's very interesting about this origin is that it's going to have specializations that break down. Similar to when you choose Psyker, you have to make a choice between, are you going to go pyromancy or telepathy, or what exactly do you want to specialize in? Arbites is going to allow you to drill down into a particular play style. And two of those play styles are going to present really new mechanics for Rogue Trader. One of them allows you to specialize in shields, which have never been available in the game before, and so that's going to add a lot of new weaponry throughout your campaign. And one of them is also going to specialize in shotguns. Now, shotguns were available in Rogue Trader before, but I always found them to be very underwhelming. And so I can only assume that with this new origin, they're going to add some new versions of shotguns and make them much more interesting for players. And I can't wait to find out what that means. Now, they also have added a second tier archetype called Overseer, which is going to allow you to use a lot of different cybernetic familiars that'll add different mechanics and functionality for you on the battlefield. And which cybernetics you have access to is going to be based around what origin or first tier archetype you have already selected. So all of that together is going to do a ton to expand the types of builds and combos you can put together. And of course, that's not even talking about whatever quest or additional ship battles or other things that might get added into the game that just overall are going to flesh out the Rogue Trader experience. It definitely seems like once this gets released, we're going to want to do a playthrough all over again. But that's all the stuff that we already knew about. Obviously, what people are really going to be interested in is what is this brand new game that Owlcat is working on. Now, once again, let me be clear, I have no specific information as to what this game is. So there's a lot of rumors about what Owlcat is planning to do. It seems like a lot of people believe we're going to play as an Inquisitor, which obviously would be amazing. But the only thing that's clear is that whatever they're going to announce, it's obviously Warhammer related. But there are some general details that we are already aware of. This game will be an Unreal Engine 5, and it will be fully cinematic, both of which are sharp departures from what Owlcat has done before. So hopefully, from a presentation standpoint, this game should be several steps above what we have gotten from Owlcat in the past. It's also going to be fully voice acted, which is absolutely a sharp departure for Owlcat. Most of their games range from 30 to 40% of the overall experience was voice acted. There were a ton of sections where you had to read the dialogue on your own. A lot of people are apprehensive about this and feel like it's going to limit how much dialogue Owlcat actually puts into the game. But thus far, they stood strong and made it clear that no, nothing is going to change in regards to how much written content is in the game. It's just all going to be voice acted now, and that absolutely sounds fantastic to me. And to be clear, they are still going to continue making isometric cRPGs with party members and deep mechanics and all of the other things that we have come to know and love in regards to Owlcat games. So to be frank, everything that I've heard about this new game sounds exciting, sounds like something we should be looking forward to, and I absolutely cannot wait for us to get more specific details. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait a week before we get that specific information, but I'm all for it. Once again, Warhammer Skulls next week, May 22nd, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Stay locked in right here. Subscribe, hit that bell if you haven't already. I'm really excited. Cannot wait to experience the announcement with all of you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.